Hi, I'm Brittany. I'm an ex-Mormon, and I just got done going to church twice today. Why would I torture myself, you might be asking me? The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, or the Mormons, have been promoting that we should all come to their Easter services, but it's not on Easter, it's on Palm Sunday, because on Easter they have General Conference. So I decided to show up. Let's see what's going on for Palm Sunday. What is Palm Sunday? First of all, I never learned what Palm Sunday was when I was in Mormon. We really didn't discuss that very much. There wasn't a huge emphasis around Easter time, around all these different, for Good Friday. There was like a Thursday one, Maudie Thursday. Never heard of it. Had to Google what that was. I saw it on a poster today inside the church. I was like, since when did everyone started doing this? I know they're trying to become much more Christian, much more normalized. Now we're just merging so that we can assimilate and make our neighbors not think we're weird. Okay, good luck with that. Once they find out you have a living prophet, they're going to find out. What happened? I attended 2 different church services today. Seam Building, I just decided to go to their 9 a.m. service and their 12:30 p.m. service. The first sacrament meeting I went to today was pretty much just like a normal, everyday LDS church service. The only difference being that there was a little bit extra music involved, and that was it. And also, they mentioned Palm Sunday. They mentioned it at least once every time that someone was talking. Someone mentioned, oh, and it's Palm Sunday. Just reminding us because, you know, as Mormons, we got to remember this new terminology. I noticed I'm the only one bearing arms. Mormons have not gotten the hint yet that they can show their shoulders. Yeah, there was just more music. I did take the sacrament. First sacrament meeting's sacrament was skimpy. All right, I was getting crumbs of crumbs. Like, I got the crust little piece of bread, and when I went to drink my water, it wasn't filled up hardly at all. I got like 2 droplets out of it. I didn't look before I grabbed, but I was like, did I just drink out of someone's used cup or something? Like, what is this? So that grossed me out. We had a sister speak. She spoke on Christ's sacrifice and how we're imperfect and Christ can make us better. The LDS Church is always talking about that, how much we suck and how we need Jesus to make us better. Without Jesus, we suck even harder. She only quoted LDS prophets and apostles. She didn't quote the Bible, I don't think, at all. She talked about the Book of Mormon, and she mentioned the Bible. The final talk, which was given by a bishop, and he was only 5 minutes long and barely discussed what Palm Sunday or the resurrection and Easter. There was really no huge emphasis in this sacrament meeting that I could discern. It was mainly about Jesus, not so much about like resurrection, crucifixion. We didn't even really get a mention of like Garden of Gethsemane. Like, it was just very broad, generalized, and like LDS prophets quoted, again, not the Bible. So it was not a very Christian service, that first sacrament meeting. I would say the second sacrament meeting I went to did talk a lot more about Palm Sunday and Easter than the first one. And I got a real size of bread and a real cup of water for my sacrament. They also, I didn't mention this, but they got new trays at this building. They got heavy duty metal trays. You could smack someone in the head hard with one of those. When I went to take one of them, I was like, whoa, that's heavy. All right. Anyway, so those are new. And yeah, this second sacrament meeting, like, there was a youth speaker and she spoke on what the meaning of Hosanna is. And I think I've heard of it, but I had not remembered that they shout or say Hosanna whenever they open a new temple up, which I like forgot about. So that, I don't know, was interesting. And then another sister, an older sister, got up and gave a very well executed talk. She spoke a little too fast, but it was like in-depth research. You could tell this woman doesn't even know what AI is. She knew already how to put together a well-constructed, well-educated talk. She mentioned other cultures and how they described the palms and what palms mean, both in the leaf and in like the literal sense. Great. awesome information. I learned what Palm Sunday was from that lady right there today. So shout out to her. I bumped into the sister missionaries after the first sacrament meeting. Forgot to mention that. They remembered me from last month when I met with them. And they said hi. That was nice. But you can, like, there's just like this offness with them where they're like, hi, but also, you're anti-Mormon and we hate you in secret. But we're going to be nice to you in person. That's the vibe I'm getting from them. And I'll say I got that vibe because of the way that they talk to me is a little bit different than the way they talk to others. Like, they're waiting for me to say something outlandish. Like, Joseph Smith married a 14-year-old. And they're just like afraid they're going to have to defend something at any time, which is not the case with me. I'm just here to observe, not here to convert. That's their job, not mine. The elder missionaries in the second sacrament meeting I went to did not greet me, left near the end, disappeared. I don't know where they went, never saw them again. And they were passing around their dinner calendar during sacrament meeting, which I have personally never once witnessed. I'm not opposed to it at all, like, and it doesn't matter what I think anyways, but it's the first time I've ever seen that done, and I didn't see it like go all the way around, and it never got to me, so I don't know what happened, but like, that was weird. I don't know if anyone thinks that's super weird, but like, I've never seen that happen before. Obviously, they're not going to be there next week, and there's only like the first hour this week, so they don't have a lot of time to get people to fill out the calendar. I get it. I just thought it was weird. And more music. There was a musical number that was high-pitched. I'll say they reached the notes, but the notes hurt my ears. And then also the baby crying was not helping. The baby cry. I will insert a clip. The baby crying went on far too long. They should have removed that baby much faster. Oh, also the second meeting had the children, the primary sing, and they have a pretty big primary. It was like 12 kids or so, and they were singing like about Jesus. And at first it was like, I want to say like, oh, it's so cute. I used to be a musical leader for the children, so I think it's so cute, like listening to them sing. But from my perspective now, it just sounds so creepy to listen to them talk about a man who's saving them, and he's perfect, and how he came back to life and he heals people. And to Jesus believers, okay, but as someone who doesn't believe in Jesus, that sounds crazy. Like, it used to be normal to me, but now I legitimately think that sounds absolutely insane. I'm glad I got out of it. The whole vibe is weird, honestly. Going to church now that I'm not a member, it's not nearly as enjoyable. I actually used to love church, really did. I love trying to find any tidbits to learn and to grow from, and that's why I'm going now, because I can still learn and grow from it, but I learn and grow in a different way. It's more that I can see the church for what it is more now. I can see behind the curtain. I can hear what they're saying and think about it more critically and think, wait, like, is that right? Is what you're saying to me, like, right for me? Palm Sunday, I learned something. I also learned that they're still just Mormon, because next week, instead of having Easter service, they're having General Conference. We're going to be listening to modern day prophets, apostles, and I believed it. But who's going to listen to General Conference this weekend? I'm not. I don't need to be sitting through all that. I'll check in later on and see what's going on, but I sat through plenty of General Conference in my past. I did my due share. I will just grab my tidbits afterwards, and we'll see what we find there. Happy Easter, or whatever the heck you celebrate. I don't know what I celebrate, but it does involve eating and candy and family.